Neolithic Greece is an archaeological term used to refer to the Neolithic phase of Greek history, beginning with the spread of farming to Greece in 7000–650 BC. During this period, many developments occurred, such as the establishment and expansion of a mixed farming and stock-rearing economy, architectural innovations, as well as elaborate art and tool manufacturing. Periodization. The Neolithic Revolution reached Europe beginning in 7000–650 BC, when agriculturalists from the Near East entered the Greek peninsula from Anatolia, mainly by island hopping through the Aegean Sea. Modern archaeologists have divided the Neolithic period of Greek history into 6 phases: pre-pottery, early Neolithic, middle Neolithic, late Neolithic, high, late Neolithic II, and final Neolithic. Settlements of Neolithic Greece. These are the estimated populations of hamlets, villages, and towns of Neolithic Greece over time. Note that there are several problems with estimating the sizes of individual settlements, and the highest estimates for a given settlements in a given period may be several times the lowest. Pre-ceramic. The pre-ceramic period of Neolithic Greece is characterized by the absence of baked clay pots and an economy based on farming and stock-rearing. Settlements consisted of subterranean huts partially dug into the ground, with communities inhabited by 50 to 100 people in places such as Argissa, Dendra and Franche. The inhabitants cultivated various crops, engaged in fishing, hunting, animal husbandry, developed tools and produced jewelry from clay, seashells, bone and stone. Early Neolithic. The pre-ceramic period of Neolithic Greece was succeeded by the early Neolithic period, where the economy was still based on farming and stock-rearing, and settlements still consisted of independent one-room huts, with each community inhabited by 50 to 100 people. Hearths and ovens were constructed in open spaces between the huts and were commonly used. During the early Neolithic period, pottery technology involving the successful firing of vases was developed, and burial customs consisted of inhumation in rudimentary pits, cremation of the dead, bone collection, and cemetery interment. Middle Neolithic. The Middle Neolithic period is characterized by new architectural developments, such as houses constructed with stone foundations and the development of Megaron-type dwellings. Furthermore, the Salii-type house, named after the settlement of Salii, was first developed during the Middle Neolithic period. The Salii-type dwelling has 2 interior buttresses on each side with a row of posts in the center of the square room. In the realm of art, the meander labyrinth motif was found on seals and jewelry of the early Neolithic period and, to a lesser extent, of the Middle Neolithic period. The Middle Neolithic period ended with the devastation of certain settlements by fire. Communities such as Sesklo were abandoned, whereas communities such as Salii Larissa were immediately re-inhabited. Late Neolithic. Late Neolithic I. The Late Neolithic I period is characterized by settlement expansion and the intensification of the farming economy, where shrubs and wooded areas were cleared in order to secure grazing fields and arable lands. During this period, new crops were cultivated such as bread, wheat, rye, millet and oat. Animals such as sheep and goats were raised for the wool, which was used to weave garments. Communities were inhabited by 100 to 300 individuals, socially organized into nuclear families, and settlements consisted of large Megaron-type, rectangular structures with timber post frames and stone foundations. Many settlements were surrounded by ditches 1.5 to 3.5 meters deep and 4 to 6 meters wide, which were constructed probably to defend against wild animals and to protect goods by establishing the borders of the settlements themselves. Late Neolithic II. The Late Neolithic I period was succeeded by the Late Neolithic II period where economic and social life in existing settlements continued uninterruptedly. Final Neolithic. The final Neolithic period entails the transition from the Neolithic farming and stock-rearing economy to the metal-based economy of the early Bronze Age. This transition occurred gradually when Greece's agricultural population began to import bronze and copper and used basic bronze working techniques, first developed in Asia Minor, with which they had cultural contacts. Population. According to Gareth Allen Owens, the Neolithic period saw the development of Minoan and Greek as distinct Indo-European languages in Crete and mainland Greece respectively. In archaeogenetic studies, Greco-Armenian speakers diverged from the Proto-Indo-European language family around 5300–5000 BC, coinciding with the Neolithic spread of agriculture from Asia Minor to Greece, with Greek developing into a separate language before 4000 BC. Gallery.